you both. Thank you for being here. Dean, we'll start with you. Clearly, last week goes without saying an incredibly disappointing result. How do you deal with that as a player when you've been beaten so heavily by a team?
I think it's it's up to Mick, the manager, to pull them around again. The beauty about football is that you've got another game to turn it around, and today's a different game. Stoke City are going to be very strong. Mark Hughes' team always very, very strong in attack and on the counter attack with the two wide men. But I think we've got to get a win very quickly, and it's got to start today. Just in the Premier League or in any league, you've got to win your home games. And if you win your home games, you're going to stay in the division. And then whatever you pick up on the road. But last week's very disappointing. But you've got to put that to bed now and move on to the next game.
As a professional footballer, how do you deal with that? Because the fans will go away from Bournemouth down in the mouth, gutted about the result. As a footballer, have you got a much more professional attitude towards that?
No, you'll be gutted because it's your job. You're proud of being a footballer, and when you do get beat, the supporters are more disappointed as well. But you are disappointed when you're going home, and it'll have been a long journey back on the flight. But as you say, Mick, I think you got him in on Sunday, so they wasn't happy, and the players expect to be in on a Sunday with a performance like that. So they've got to redeem themselves today. The supporters have got to stick with them and see where it takes us today.
Let's welcome alongside of Dean today, Leigh Palin. Quick, from ladies and gentlemen, a quick round of applause for our visitor Leigh Palin, who's here. Maybe for maybe the younger Hull City fans here today, quick resume, quick career CV. Can you remember when you were, obviously not playing in the KCOM Stadium, the KCOM Stadium, but it would have been Boothby Park days?
That's right, I signed on deadline day 1990 from Stoke City. I was here for 3 years. I was at Stoke for 6 months. Having previously been at Bradford City, and I started a young professional career at Aston Villa and Nottingham Forest, and moved on from there.
Did your paths cross with the young gentleman alongside with Dean Windass?
Yeah, he did do. Briefly, only briefly. Dean had come, I think he'd been released earlier on in his apprentice days, and he had a second opportunity and he took it, and I was there to see the first 6 months to 12 months of his growth, and the rest is history.
Dean, was Leigh a good roommate, a good teammate to have around when you were a young professional footballer?
Well, yeah, listen, in them days, I came out of non-league, obviously, like you just said, being released, and then Leigh was an experienced pro then, for me, he was, one of the best midfield players I've ever, played with, and he's put a few pounds on now since, but
the good life.
It's a good life, yeah, it's had a good life, but no, listen, he was a fantastic footballer, as you say, playing for Stoke City, in them days, I think under Lou McCarry, things like that. So he's here today, I don't think he knows so much about Stoke living. He still lives here, so he lives in Walkington, so he's probably more Hull than he is Stoke at the minute. Hope so anyway.
Talking about young players, one that might come into the lineup this afternoon, obviously very disappointing injury outcome for Andy Robertson, but that might leave the door open for Josh Tymon to make his Premier League debut. I mean, he'll know if he's in or out by now for sure, but big gamble on Mike Finner's part to be throwing him in at the deep end against Stoke?
I don't think he'll play today. I think he'll be on the bench. I don't know the personnel, but I know the system that they're going to play. So they'll play 4-5-1 with Keane up front on his own and all that, but I don't know what the midfield players are. Obviously the back four will be Lucas, probably left back. With Michael's come back in, I think, with Curtis, and obviously El Mohammed on the right, and then whoever he picks in the midfield five. So, the lone striker in Keane, he's got to get hold of the ball, bring people into play, work his socks off, which apparently he has been doing. But the onus is on us at home. You've got to get goals, you've got to get crosses into the box. If he's going to play a five in midfield, you've got to get two lads springing from midfield to go join him with a lone striker and try getting in the box to get his goals. But it's going to be a tough game today, without a shadow of a doubt.
Leigh, I will ask you a question from an observer's point of view. Stoke is your former team. You might know a bit more about Hull City these days, but City playing Stoke at the wrong time. It was a couple of weeks ago. The form wasn't so good. Now they've come into a bit of form, particularly Joe Allen has.
Yeah, you can't underestimate Stoke. I mean, the players that Mark Hughes has signed over the last couple of years, players that can run with the football, create chances week in, week out. It's going to be a difficult game for Hull City today, and they've got to be on the front foot, closing the opposition down and try and get the ball back as quick as they can. It's a cup final today, make no mistake about that.
Well, Dean reckons it's a cup final. Let's get some score predictions from you. Dean, starting with you, what would you be happy with today? I mean, obviously a win, but I mean, in the sort of professional aspect of it.
I think that when you've had a defeat last week, you've got to respond. You know, I think that you might get a response to it. You know, the supporters will be expecting a response. I'd love to take a 1-0. You know, I want 3 points, but so if you come away with a point, it stops the rot from last week. But I'm going to go for a 1-0 win.
Dean's confident. Are you as confident, Lee?
I think it'll be one apiece. I think Hull City are still in a good position points-wise. I think when you look at the start of the season, I looked at the programme today, I'd got them on 6 points looking at the teams that they've played, and they've got 7. If they can get another one today, beggars can't be choosers. Fingers crossed. I mean, let's hope Hull City do get results. But I think it'll be one apiece.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you thank our guests today, Dean Windass and Leigh Palin.